I worked as a detective on some of the most bizarre cases. It's not every day you get to see things that make you question your own sanity. I've seen it all. Murders, kidnappings, and everything in between. But nothing could have prepared me for the case of David's disappearance. I'm not the kind of person who believes in the supernatural. I rely on hard evidence, facts, and logic to solve cases. But when David's disappearance was brought to my attention, something about it felt different. Maybe it was the strange circumstances surrounding it, or maybe it was the sense of foreboding that lingered in the air. Whatever it was, I knew that this case would challenge everything I thought I knew about solving mysteries. As I made my way up to the gates of the mansion, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. I had heard about David's disappearance, and it had piqued my interest. I couldn't believe that a personal assistant for a billionaire could just vanish into thin air. As I walked up the winding driveway, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. But let me first tell you about the disappearance of David DeVries and what I believe happened to him on that fateful day. David had always wanted to work for a billionaire, and when he landed a job as a personal assistant for one, he felt like he had hit the jackpot. He had been working for Mr. Black for 6 months now, and everything seemed to be going well. However, one day David discovered a mysterious mirror in Mr. Black's private office that would change his life forever. The mirror was beautiful, with an ornate frame and an eerie glow that seemed to emanate from within. David was intrigued by the mirror and couldn't resist the temptation to look into it. As he gazed into the glass, he was shocked to see a vivid vision of his future. He saw himself standing on a balcony overlooking a beautiful beach, surrounded by wealth and luxury. David was overjoyed by the vision, but his elation was short-lived when he realized the terrible price he would have to pay to make it a reality. David spent hours staring into the mirror, watching as his future changed with each passing moment. He saw himself living a life of luxury, but also saw the terrible fate that awaited him if he tried to change his destiny. The shadowy figure seemed to be growing stronger, and David began to fear for his life. Days turned into weeks, and David was still trapped in the room with the mirror. He tried to break the glass, but it wouldn't shatter. He tried to contact Mr. Black, but his phone was dead. David was alone and terrified, with no way out. One day, the shadowy figure emerged from the mirror and attacked David. He fought back with all his might, but he was no match for the supernatural being. As he lay dying on the floor, David realized the terrible truth about the mirror. It wasn't showing him his future, it was controlling it. The shadowy figure was a manifestation of the mirror's power, a force that would stop at nothing to ensure that its visions came true. As David took his last breath, he saw the image of the shadowy figure in the mirror fade away. The mirror was now blank, reflecting nothing but emptiness. David's fate had been sealed the moment he looked into the mirror, and now he was just another victim of its terrible power. The billionaire's estate was never able to explain David's disappearance, and the room with the mirror was sealed off for good. Some say that the mirror still remains there, waiting for its next victim to gaze into its glass and seal their fate. Others say that it was destroyed, and that the shadowy figure that haunted David's final moments is still out there, waiting to claim its next victim. But one thing is for sure. The mysterious mirror that shows the viewer their future, but at a terrible price that no one can afford, is not to be trifled with. I had heard the rumors about the mirror and the consequences that came with using it, but, as a detective, it was my duty to uncover the truth. I wanted to prove to everyone, especially my colleagues, that I was capable of solving this case and putting an end to the terror that this mirror had caused. I gathered as much information as I could about the mirror and its history, and it all led me to the same place, the billionaire's mansion. I couldn't believe my luck when I was given the permission to investigate the mansion and the mirror. As I walked through the mansion, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The walls seemed to close in on me, and the air was thick with an eerie silence. I found the room where the mirror was kept and approached it cautiously, feeling my heartbeat quicken with each step. I took a deep breath and looked into the mirror. My reflection stared back at me, and for a moment, nothing happened. But then, my reflection started to change. My face became contorted and twisted, and I could see the terror in my own eyes. I tried to step away, but it was as if the mirror had trapped me. My body was frozen, and I couldn't move. Suddenly, the reflection started to speak to me. "Welcome, detective," the reflection said in a voice that was not my own. "I've been waiting for you." I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. I watched in horror as the reflection showed me glimpses of the future, a future where I was responsible for causing pain and destruction. I screamed for help, but my cries echoed through the mansion, unheard and unanswered. I knew then that I was trapped, just like all the others who had fallen prey to this cursed mirror. Days passed, and I remained trapped, unable to escape the clutches of the mirror. My mind was slowly deteriorating, and I could feel my sanity slipping away. I knew that I had to break free from the mirror's hold if I wanted to survive. I tried everything I could think of to break the curse, but nothing worked. And then, one day, I saw a glimmer of hope. I noticed a small crack in the mirror, and I knew that this was my chance to escape. With all the strength I had left, I hit the mirror with all my might. The glass shattered, and I fell to the ground, gasping for air. I was free. I stumbled out of the mansion, relieved to be alive. I knew that the mirror was gone, and I had put an end to the curse once and for all. But the memory of my time in the mansion, and the horrors that I had witnessed, stayed with me. Now, I know the truth about the mirror, and I will never forget the terrible price that came with using it. The curse may be lifted, but the scars it left behind will never fade. I knew I was right about David, but now I'm haunted by the memories of what I saw and what I failed to do. David may never be found, but I vow to keep his memory alive and to warn others of the dangers lurking within that mansion. No one should have to suffer the same fate as David, and I will do everything in my power to prevent it from happening again. If you liked this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more action.